Hi, Sue here from Mystic Matters with your November 2020 tarot reading. As always, I picked the cards in advance because I dowsed for them. All right, we're starting off here with the Death card, which I find very positive. The Death, as many of you probably know, isn't not talking about physical death here. We're talking about new beginnings. And this is how we're starting off November. We have the opportunity of a new way of life if we can let go of the old. And this does mean we have to sacrifice some of the things of the past in order to move forward. So it is, and there are new opportunities coming up for us, which will be, I'm sure, very well received. I split the month into three. So the first 10 days or so, the Hermit card, we've got actually, I think, four. Yeah, we've got four major arcana in the nine cards I take. So it's quite a powerful month. And the first third of the month, we're being asked to be patient. Everything happens at the right time and not before. You can't put a cake in the oven and expect it to be baked in 5 minutes. It just doesn't happen. So it is time just to have some alone time. And I know that many people are fed up with alone time. We've had so much of it this year. But it is important just to tune into yourself, to listen to what your inner voice is telling you, and be patient. Everything will turn around, but it's not going to happen very, very quickly. It is a matter of being patient in the first kind of third of the month. Because there can be internal conflicts or conflicts with people around, or other people having conflicts around you. But this is when things, maybe it can be misunderstandings or arguments, but things that haven't been resolved and they're kind of festering. So this is when things that come to the surface, and can be unpleasantness. And sometimes if we don't handle things right, it can be end of friendship. So we need to be quite sensitive where these things are concerned, but it can be inner conflicts as well. This is why it's so important to be patient and not just kind of get triggered and kind of go off harem scarum into things, because it seems that there's a lot of frayed nerves around, and can also be resentments that you don't even know about, and then suddenly somebody comes up with something that you didn't even think about. It might not necessarily be involving you. It might be you having to be kind of peacemaker with warring factions around you. But do just take time to yourself and try and be quiet, be patient. These things will pass. And this isn't a major arcana card. It's just niggly things, day-to-day stuff, which just kind of, dampen any positivity for a while. Coming up here to the middle of the month, or the second, or day 11 on for another 10 days. This is about, this is very much the farmer to me, but it's about, ordinary everyday life, nothing particularly exciting happening, no fireworks, no drama, and it's a time of respite, and just being able just to get on with day-to-day mundane tasks. And it feels as though it would be a bit of a relief for not having any drama going around you. But it is time just to be quiet and look after, the day-to-day stuff of life, the things that can be a bit boring, but will help ground you while you're when there might be some chaos going on around. And the other part of these 10 days is with the Chariot here, it's keeping focused and disciplined, not wasting your energy because things aren't happening when you wanted them to, in the way you wanted them to. It is important that you just keep your eye on the goal and don't get kind of tetchy and snappy with people. It goes back to this patience. You might want to, with new opportunities coming up, you might want to just kind of hit the ground running, but this is not the time to do that. It will only create conflicts around you. It will ruffle people's feathers. Just try and keep it calm. Just keep focused on where you want to get to and be disciplined about it. Because if you don't, and you'll be wasting your energy trying to get things, trying to push the river, as it were. You'll be just wasting your energy, and it'd be much better if you can just kind of go with the flow. Keep focused, but go with the flow. Coming towards the end of the month, there's many people who are already on a spiritual soul path. There's many people that have asked the question, who am I? What's my purpose? Why am I here on this planet at this time? Because there's been a big spiritual surge over the last few decades. So this might not be a new question for some of you, but for others, it is a time of standing up and being counted, and asking those questions. Especially if you're not happy in the things you're doing, then that's not your purpose. That is not what you're here to do. You're here to fulfill a destiny, and we're not given a destiny that we're going to be unhappy with. It's something that we gravitate towards, something that means a lot to us. So this is time now to actually pick up the reins and start kind of driving your own life, deciding what you want to do, rather than doing things because it's easy or it's convenient or makes other people happy. It is time in some ways to grow up, I suppose, on a spiritual level and really find out what your purpose is, because each of us is unique. Each of us has a unique gift that only we can give. And it's time, if you already know what that gift is, go for it. If you don't know, ask the questions. Kind of listen again, be patient, go within and find out what attracts you, what kind of things would you like to do, what lights your fire. Because it is time for new projects, new things. And this is about loving yourself a bit more, but also it can be beginning of new relationships, can be love relationships, but it also can be friendships where kind of love is exchanged between friends, or renewing and revitalizing old relationships and friendships, which might have kind of been a bit lacking in the love department recently. But it's also new projects. It's giving birth to something that is like it's like your baby. It's new things starting, which is very fragile. So it needs to be fed and watered. But new beginnings, new things starting, and that's really backed up by the card for when we kind of come to the end of the month. It's time to maybe invest some money in some study or start a new business, new beginnings. It's the beginning of something new, and there's so many of us will be starting new things, new adventures, new and finding what we're here for, what our purpose is. We might be part of the way down the road, but then there could be a few offshoots that we're not aware of. But it really is such a positive card, this, or positive kind of journey. Now, we're coming to the luck for the month. And this is an interesting one because this isn't a particularly positive card. This is about maybe a feeling of betrayal, maybe loss of some sort, maybe it could be a passing of somebody that you're close to. But there's a feeling of regret about this. Now, this is something that can paralyze us. If we hold on, remembering the first the first card, how we started off with the death card. This is, again, not necessarily physical death, but what it is being prepared to let go of the old in order to pursue the new. And when we are in grief for whatever reason, it doesn't have to be a physical death of somebody, but if we're in grief or we feel betrayed, quite often we hold that close to us like a blanket. We wrap ourselves in around it. It's the first thing we think of in the morning. It's the last thing we think of. And we can lose years of our life in this state of paralysis, in this state of grief, this feeling of loss. And basically, we end our own life there. We might still be breathing, but we're not living because this has numbed us. We can't see anything ahead of it. And this is why our luck is to overcome this. I'm not saying don't feel the grief, don't feel the despair. We're all human, we have to go through that. But what I'm saying is don't get stuck in it. Be prepared to put it behind you after a period of time when you're not just, sometimes grief naturally dies, but then we feel maybe disloyal, or we feel, oh, that person did something that is terrible or to us, and I'm going to remember it for the rest of my life. Even if it becomes old news to us, it's like we hold on to this and it becomes a grudge, it becomes all sorts of things, which doesn't harm the other person, it only harms us. So this is really saying, please just let go of all the old stuff, let go of the arguments, let go of the past, and be prepared to move forward, because there's really great things ahead, but it's a choice that each of us has to make. Do we want to sit in this kind of muddy puddle of grief and resentments and grudges, or would we like just to let it go, and then we can really move on, because there's really good opportunities for moving on, and that is our luck, is if we can be resilient, if we can be forgiving, and just accept, people are people, and then we can truly move forward, because we have got the opportunity of a new way of life, but it does hinge on us being prepared to let go of the old. So are you up to the challenge? I wish you a really illuminating November. It can be very powerful. So there's lots of major arcanas here. So there are opportunities for new way of life. We need to be patient. We need to look into our soul journey, our life purpose, what we're here for. And we just need to keep the focus, the discipline, not to get tetchy, try not to encourage conflicts, and throw ourselves into new projects, the things that make our heart glad, the things that inspire us, the things that we can't wait to do, and let go of the negativity. Don't wear it like a banner. Don't become bitter with it. And that will be your luck, being able to let go of the old, close the door, and embrace all the new things, new projects, new things coming. So I hope that's been of help, and hopefully see you again next month. Bye.